So these things showed up the other day. So I acquired a couple custom Odysseys. So this yellow one's a 250 and then red and white one's a 350. A little backstory on it. I originally sold like an 800 Polaris Ranger to a guy, and then he had a 900 Polaris Ranger that he wanted me to work on. And then I ended up doing a motor swap on that thing. And then after talking to him, he saw my pilots and stuff and was like, oh, I got a bunch of Odysseys. And at one point I had like 7 different Odysseys, and now I'm down to like 2 of them. And they haven't ran in 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And he's just like, I have no time to fix them or get through them or anything, and would like to see him go to a good home. So I ended up trading these things in on his repair bill. I gave him $2,500 for the pair. So there's the 250 Odyssey, the 350 Odyssey, and then they also came with this pallet full of parts. So there's a whole bunch of paddles in here. Oh, like a 350 cylinder, another bottom end for a 350, which, yeah, that's stuck on this crankshaft. Oh, kind of a box of parts. There's some good pistons, some other stuff. Kind of a variety of paddles and tires and stuff, mainly for the 350, I think. So it came with all of that stuff and these two. So I feel like I got a decent deal on these two. So yeah, story on them though. This 250, this one's got about every single accessory and add-on you could pretty much do for something back in these days. So first of all, it's got a custom cage on it. I think this might be a Challenger cage, possibly. I don't really know my cages too well. It's got the Nerf bars on the side, and it's got pretty much every other goodie for it. So, liquid cooled head, which goes up to the radiator right here. It's actually still got coolant in it. I feel like these liquid cooled heads are probably the best thing for these old air cooled motors, especially the 250. It's like hidden right behind the seat like that. They don't seem to get any airflow. I've always been surprised that they actually stay cool and don't just burn up all the time. But yeah, it's this little water cooled head. It's kind of interesting. I expect there to be like a little electric water pump or something, but there's just the 2 coolant lines for it. So must just kind of flow off of a natural convection there. We've got an aftermarket pipe on it. It has electric start as well, which I've never seen one of these with electric start. Looks like we've got a little start button. I think that's the one on this dash right here. I believe that's our electric start button. Temperature gauge for the head as well. And this one's got rear suspension on it. So it looks like this is a Challenger rear suspension kit, which these are kind of interesting. So I mean, it comes with shocks and stuff, and these originally were a straight axle, just basically bolted into the frame. You can see underneath here, it looks like, okay, we've got a bracket that would weld in there for this extra little toe link and stuff. And then I'm not entirely sure, I'm guessing it's got to be a completely different axle, or maybe that just slides into the transmission part itself to basically add to the U-joints. And then you're gonna have a different hub system out there with the trailing arms, like a 3-link suspension, kind of similar to what like the 350 Odysseys are and stuff, but pretty neat. Never seen one with a rear suspension, which that would be just the best modification for these 250 Odysseys. These things just ride so rough and stuff. So yeah, he said both of these ran when he parked them and stuff, and they weren't sitting outside, but we're just kind of sitting in a shed and stuff that wasn't air conditioned or anything like that. But downside, this 250 is stuck, which he said it wasn't stuck when he parked it. So he wasn't sure if what seized up or if they just got some moisture in it or something. The last 250 Odyssey that I kind of rebuilt, it had a similar pipe system to this, and what I've kind of found on that one is the way this pipe sits, since it's pointed upward, it must have sat outside and caught water, and that ran down and basically just filled up the bottom of the pipe and then got down in the crankshaft and just rusted the crankshaft solid and everything on that one. So that one ended up needing the crankshaft, new cylinder, piston, and everything. Oh, but yeah, this one's kind of cool. Plastics are a little broke on it, but like I said, pretty much every option you could add on a 250 Odyssey. And then this one's a 350. So the 350s were only made in 85. These were also an air cooled. Definitely a little bit better though. Now we got forward and reverse on these, electric start. This one I believe was pretty much stock overall as far as like engine components and stuff. He said he did have at one point like a Digitron like digital like exhaust temperature gauge on it for watching that and for jetting and stuff, which he gave that to me too, but who knows if that still works at all. Pretty cool. I gotta admit, I do like the Husker theme since I am in Lincoln, Nebraska, which would be home of the Huskers. This one actually came from Kansas, though. It's where he lived, which I think they were originally Husker fans, but ironically, I kind of heard the guy's whole life story, and his kid ended up playing for K-State for all 4 years or something, so I do like the Husker stuff. So yeah, he kind of made these little nets. This one's got, that folds out. There was like another little white panel that went in there that he said he lost on the trip on the way down here and everything. And then extended those air scoops, which is a good idea. So those scoop in and then cool the head back there. The last 350 Odyssey I had, I learned something kind of interesting on, where the head on these, the fins, you can see on this one, are kind of Y-shaped, where they go out and then are straight in the back. My last 350 Odyssey I had all straight fins on it, which I guess was a like an early design of the head that were actually like recalled due to heating issues and stuff, and they switched these later on to kind of get that airflow more in line with the fins. Supposedly supposed to help with better cooling and everything. Oh, I guess this one does have an aftermarket pipe. I think that's an aftermarket pipe, or a muffler on there. The pipe's all stock for sure. But yeah, I think that's a different exhaust tip on there. This one does turn over, but it pulls over really easy. So this one feels like low compression. I don't think this one would take a ton to get running. I don't know if the rings are just kind of stuck on that piston or something, or you know, a new piston and rings and a little honing. It'd probably come back to life pretty easy. Pretty cool on these. So now the question is, what do I do with these things? I'm not sure if I want to go through the time and actually get them all going, or kind of sell them as a project, kind of the way they are and stuff. But personally, I'd love to get them fixed. But yeah, recently I actually had a little back surgery that I had a disc fixed. So now I'm kind of light duty for a good couple months or so, which I'm getting around fine. But projects like these are just a lot of bending over and stuff that I'm not sure if I want to do yet. So I don't know. If you guys think these things are kind of cool, let me know. If you know anything more about them than I do, yeah, let me know if there's something pretty unique about them or rare. I don't know for sure. Well, stay tuned. We'll see if I get these things running again, or I might end up selling them as a project or something. Thanks for following.